I think technologically the chapter houses have been connected. And they may not all have the equipment, but the wires are present. So that might be something to look at as an inventory to see which actually have the technology. And I can bring that forward to you. I can get that information. If that would be of help.
I think that would be a good place to start. What we can do today is, kind of use this as our, kind of beginning of the discussion, try and get the information, and then everybody who signs up will send it out to them, and again, they can share it with others, and then hopefully plan a follow-up meeting like this so that we can, see if people have been able to identify where they might be able to use it and so on. From AzMN's standpoint, with our current grant with Komen, and actually with the state of Arizona, I don't want to leave them out, they also are supporting our program. I would definitely like to, have a way that we could have some of the meetings that we're having, and have them be available to some of our volunteers who aren't able to get to the meeting, which is really, we're finding, I mean, when I say this to people here, you know already, but I'll repeat, is that the huge amount of area and people having to come from such distances means that they can't always come to a meeting, and it's really a shame because they want to be here and they're not having the opportunity. So if we could identify certain places that have the technology, we would be able to, enhance the program. So that would be an area we'd like to definitely develop all through on.
Maybe I could share with you just a little bit of that experience and a model within the IHS system. For example, Tuba City has connectivity to us, to Flagstaff, to Phoenix Indian Medical Center, as well as to a group of chapter houses. So with some of the work that they do through telemedicine is through cardiology. So the patient goes to the chapter house. The patient often initiates the consultation by asking to see the doc on TV again. The patient connects to the doc into the city. The doc into the city may be able to provide the care needed, or may say, oh, let's connect with a cardiologist in Flagstaff, at Phoenix Indian Medical Center, or at the university, and then do that connectivity, all while the patient is still at the chapter house. So that sort of model, I think, really speaks to the strength of the network in being able to meet the needs of the patient without the patient having to travel. If the patient does need, for example, a stress echo, the stress echo can be performed in Tuba City, certainly a shorter distance for the patient to travel than to have to come all the way down here.
That sounds wonderful, and I think what I'm finding for us is that a lot of this is new to us, but that there are other groups, doing work, throughout the nation that aren't aware of some of these aspects either, or where you do have your connections. So I'm making a note of it, but if there's a way you can send to me that I can then distribute any materials that describe where they're already, the technology connected, and contact people so that we can see how we can build on the connections.
Great. So I will send you specifically the information on the chapter houses. You have the other sites on the map, and then I will continue with the dialogue.
Super. I'd like to hear from others about, what you would like to ask Dr. Lopez, and or anything that you would like to discuss. Have other people been involved with it? I know you have, Dr. Lense. Maybe you can talk about what you've been doing with telemedicine. I I know Dr. Lense is going to be talking about his colon program and also colon screening and also telemedicine tomorrow for our conference. But I just thought it would be nice if he could, share a little bit about how he works with you and works with the program.
So the radiology department at the University Medical Center in Tucson has a major teleradiology program. So I think in recent years they've been interpreting about well over 100,000 X-rays and scans. So this is ordinary old-fashioned X-rays, CT scans, MRIs. So the gamut of modern radiology. As far as the nation is concerned, I think I'm correct that all of the IHS facilities on the nation use the teleradiology service to a greater or lesser extent. So, for instance, here I don't think there are any radiologists on staff, right? So that means that all of the X-rays are interpreted that way. Gallup, for instance, they have IHS, they do have at least one radiologist on staff. So in the daytime, a lot of the routine X-rays are probably interpreted in-house, but after hours, if anybody is unfortunate enough to go to the ER room with a head injury and needs a CT scan in the middle of the night, then that will almost certainly be being interpreted in real time. And so we introduced this virtual colonoscopy service. The radiologist is Arnie Friedman. It requires certain special expertise to interpret virtual colonoscopies. It needs special software. The beauty of it is, though, that as long as you've got the appropriate equipment at the site, then the images can be transmitted, and the software and the expertise can be just in a central location, so you don't have to have a radiologist expert in interpreting virtual colonoscopies at every place where you can do this. And so we've now done, I think it's now up to nearly 400 patients have had their colon cancer screening between here and Tuba City since May of last year. And so then you then go on, and if for the minority that have something that needs to be taken care of, then you have to go on and have a colonoscopy done after the virtual colonoscopy. So it's wonderful. Nowadays, after all, there are lots of X-rays are being interpreted in India. So you might have a CT scan in some place here, and it might be being interpreted by a radiologist in India. So, this is the way we do medicine these days.
Barbara had broke her hip 2 years ago. And we were at the hospital after hours at 11 o'clock at night, and they took the X-rays, and we said, well, we'll have the results at 3 in the morning. They sent them to Australia, and they came back in 3 or 4 hours. I wanted to ask the question, though, wouldn't this be, are you using this for mammograms?
Yeah, so there's actually traveling mammography, so that can be used. So again, you can get even more mobile. So you can have trucks that can go out, and so that there's no reason why you couldn't have a truck showing up at a chapter house, for instance, and offering people their colon cancer screening and mammography. After they finished work. So that it all gives incredible flexibility. And Anna Maria talked also about pathology. So, again, you can you can digitize pathology. Any image can be digitized, and it can be sent someplace else. And so you can have a pathologist, in Australia or in Tucson or in Phoenix, looking at a pathology slide that has been digitized. And actually, so now, whereas in the old days, pathologists, people geezers like my age and Tim's age, the pathologists we grew up with, they look down a microscope all day. And now people look at a TV screen.